special edition of college football recap. Week 1, Bobby Dirkens. This is Beach Bobby. I'm actually down at Cherry Grove. That's in above northern Myrtle Beach, right below North Carolina line. Tons of Ohio State fans here. They're everywhere. I mean, what do they really have to look forward to right now? Definitely not football season. But anyway, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Lord be with you. It's good to see all of you here. I'm going to recap starting with Thursday night, leading into, the games that ended. Week 1, very exciting week 1. Tons of upsets. Tons of people making excuses of why their team wasn't that good and all that bunch of stuff. But I'm going to start with Thursday night, and then I'll pick it up. So Thursday night, we saw the Miami Hurricanes in Miami play against UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. Miami looked just as average as they always do. First game of the year. Let me... I'm not even going to go any farther, but I'm going to say this one time. I know that the offseason has had a ton of distractions. People didn't know whether we're going to play or not and everything. But it's kind of like some businesses I know. They sucked a year ago. There's businesses I know right now going, due to the recent blah, 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 we are... 1 year ago, you were just as bad. 1 year ago, you gave just as crappy service. Just a year ago, your customer service was that bad. A year ago, your product was just as bad. It's just now you got an excuse. Now, I'm not saying that things that's went on has not had its moment. Okay? I'm not saying that it has not affected anything. I am just saying there's a lot of people who's sitting here going, we got an excuse. As to where you get 2 years from now, they're just going to be just as mundane and piss poor as they can be. And Miami is one of those teams. This year Miami has an excuse. What about the past 15 years? Well, there were sanctions. Yeah, there were sanctions because normally you do get sanctions when you start bringing hookers around for your players. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out. We almost got the death penalty, and rightfully so. But 31-14, Miami wins. De'Aaron King came out there. He's one of those guys that's explosive, but he is not going to lead you game in and game out to dominance. I'll go ahead and tell you that. All right, let's pick up to yesterday. Now, of course, I did a reaction video to this. The number 1 team in the country, my favorite team, Clemson Tigers, came out, won 37-13. I'm going to speed this up. You don't have to know everything that went on in every ball game. Won 37-13. Quickly jumped up 27-0 in the first half, and then after that, it was just like, And I know people said, well, Bobby, are we going to show our playbook against Wake Forest? No, 100%. But the talented players that we have versus the not so talented players of theirs, we should be able to line up I formation. I know it's not in our playbook, but I formation and drill them into the ground. So once again, there's a lot of things going around why they didn't look the way they did. 3 weeks of practice and blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. But that's me. All right, next game going down the rankings had Oklahoma. Spencer Ratliff came out, played against Missouri State. They're absolutely nobody. He came out, he threw for 290 yards, 4 touchdowns. And they won 48-0 over Missouri State. A game that I was really watching a lot and liked. Duke at Notre Dame, of course, former Clemson quarterback Chase Bryce. He's playing for Duke now. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can tell by the way just that youngin stands, and just the way he throws a football. He's a different animal. He is a different animal. That was a good business decision for him to go to Duke and work with Cutcliffe, and become the best he possibly can be. Don't be surprised if that youngin ends up going second round. I mean, given some stuff, he might go, late first round. He's a very talented football player. Just overall, Notre Dame was too much for Duke's team. They wasn't too much for Bryce. So Chase Bryce doing a good job. Notre Dame wins 27-13. Texas played UTEP. Ellinger, 426 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, are we really going to celebrate that? I don't know if we really want to, but let me see. 59-3. Big game yesterday. Syracuse, North Carolina. North Carolina's got so much going on for them right now, so many expectations. And North Carolina wins 31-6. At first, they struggled. They were up 7-3 for quite a while, and then it got 7-6, and then in the fourth quarter, North Carolina just absolutely wore them out. Sam Howell, 295 yards. Big deal. Speeding this sucker up. Iowa State loses at home to the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana, 31-14. Okay, 1 point would be bad. Losing by 17, horrible. Are we going to stop praising Matt Campbell as one of the greatest coaches? Do you realize this is year 5 or 6 for Matt Campbell, right? I mean, go ahead and stop real quick. Stop saying Matt Campbell, or he's at Iowa State, then he should get the heck out of Iowa State because his stock is going to start going down. This doesn't make sense. Appalachian State and Charlotte played. Charlotte played them much better than what I thought they were going to play them. Much better, but App State does win 35-20. Big game for Zach Thomas, quarterback for App, 14-21, 205. I know it's not huge numbers, but you can tell didn't play too terribly shabby. Eastern Kentucky came in, played West Virginia, 56-10. West Virginia wins. Another big upset. Arkansas State goes to Manhattan, Kansas, and beats Kansas State 35-31. I mean, it was just, golly, it was embarrassing. Army murdered UL Monroe. In double overtime, UTSA beat Texas State. And then, I'm going to jump around a few games. Georgia Southern barely beat Campbell. I mean, good grief. 27-26. South Florida, our old boy from Clemson, Jeff Scott, first game of head coach, they win the ball game, 27-6 over the Citadel. Let me see. Louisville beats Western Kentucky by 14, 35-21. Coastal Carolina goes to Kansas, beats them. At one time was up 28-0, beats them 38-23. Let me see a few more games. All right. And the game I want to finish off with, Georgia Tech goes to Florida State. And beats Florida State. 16-13. What's wrong in Tallahassee? I mean, I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. 16-13. Georgia Tech. Too many off-season blunders for FSU. They just forgot their main reason for being there was, I don't know, play football. But that's overrated. All right, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, pass this along to your family, clergymen, and blah, 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 blah. Bobby Dirkens, you keep showing up, I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.